The train has revolutionized the Industrial Revolution by being the cheapest, fastest land transportation of its time. The train started off with a steam engine that only had an average speed of around 5 miles per hour. Later it progressed to a faster average speed of around 50 miles per hour and became vital for public transportation and shipping. Next, the diesel engine came along, which converted thermal energy into kinetic energy. Speed of trains greatly increased to a top speed of 160 miles per hour. Lastly, today's trains run on magnetic electricity, which is much faster at a top speed of 360 miles per hour. Magnetic electric powered trains are good for the environment because they do not put out any pollution directly and can stop and start much faster. On March 10, 1876, Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone. It was a race to patent the invention of the phone because others discovered it literally at the same moment as him. The first telephone used electric impulses with different frequencies to sound like a human voice. At first, phones could travel only about 20 miles, and each person had a specific line running to one place. Within 10 years of inventing the telephone, 167,000 phone lines would create a disorganized madness through the streets. In 1919, the switch system and rotary telephone was invented. Still causing madness in the streets, the switch system made it possible to contact multiple places with the same line. In 1963, the touch-tone telephone is created. This touch-tone phone is a telephone with 10 push buttons with numbers to dial. In 1965, the first electronic central office switching system is made. This transfers and wires calls automatically, no need for a person anymore. In 1973, the first portable cell phone call is made. A trail for new cell phones begins in 1978. It began as 2,000 people in Chicago testing it. In the year 2000, 100 million people are using wireless phones across the nation. Henry Ford founded his company on June 16, 1903. The Model A was the first car produced by Ford Motor Company. Even though advertised as the most reliable machine in the world, it suffered problems such as overheating and transmission belt slipping, and only reached a top speed of 28 miles per hour. Next, Ford produced a Model T, which is famous for the first car with interchangeable parts in October 1, 1908. The Model T was slightly more reliable than its predecessor, the Model A. As Ford developed into a mass car production plant, Henry strived for reliability in his machines. Ford also created the first car assembly line in 1913. Then Ford began to produce Jeeps for the military in 1941. Ford started to produce SUVs and hit the market in 1990. Ford recently has been producing hybrids in an attempt to go green and be more eco-friendly, such as the Ford Fusion Hybrid.
We speak car. Sure, but do we speak hybrid? Yes, we do. And we can say 700 miles on a single tank and EPA estimated 41 mpg city.
In the first 100 years of home heating in a heavily forested America was completely reliant on wood. In 1885, the nation would burn more coal than wood. Before 1885, the majority of homes in America were heated with wood-burning brick fireplaces and the cast-iron Franklin stove. Without electricity and fans to move air, these early furnaces transported heat by natural convection through ducts from the basement furnace to the rooms above. These two methods would dominate home central heating until 1935, when the introduction of the first forced air furnace using coal as a heat source used the power of an electric fan to distribute the heated air through ductwork within the home. Shortly after, gas and oil fired versions of forced air furnaces would relieve the homeowners from the chore of loading coal. Today, about 60% of our homes are heated with gas-fired forced air furnaces and another 9% with oil-fired. In warmer climates, a quarter of our homes would be heated by using electric heat pumps to supply both heating and cooling energy.